So the movie opens with the view of a train track, and immediately, we are shown the year 1968. Paul had built a Skyview restaurant to surprise Iris. Iris gets very excited, and for the commercial of this restaurant, a photo is taken of Iris and Paul with the tower in the background. Finally, they enter the restaurant. The restaurant's floor was made of glass, everything below was visible, and there was a live kitchen at the center of the restaurant. People were partying, and then Iris places a rose in Paul's pocket. Her finger starts bleeding from the thorn on it, which causes her to vomit. Seeing this, the singer who had come to the restaurant realizes that Iris is pregnant. But when she asked Iris, Iris herself had just found out from her. Still, Iris was very happy. Here, she also sees the singer's son and for some reason feels drawn to the child. Anyway, she goes to Paul and he brings her to the rooftop terrace where he proposes to Iris. Iris gets excited, accepts his proposal, and also shares the good news that she is pregnant. Paul is also very happy. Iris notices the singer's son again, and that naughty child throws a coin from the top to the ground. The coin doesn't fall to the ground. Instead, the vacuum pressure from an AC outdoor unit pulls it inside. While people are dancing at the party, we see the restaurant floor start to shake. The coin spins inside the AC duct, caught in the airflow of the fan. And suddenly, the floor of the restaurant collapses. All the people fall down. Paul grabs a piece of glass to save himself, cutting his hands in the process. But even then, he couldn't hold on and falls to his death. Iris, however, was standing in a stable spot and survives. The coin spinning in the duct comes out and strikes a gas pipe, causing a leak. Due to this, the live kitchen above catches fire. The singer dies in the fire, and Iris hides under a piano to save herself. To escape, she heads to the lift, but it's full of people. Just before it descends, a man comes under the lift and is crushed. The lift gets damaged, and everyone inside dies. Iris goes back up, but half the restaurant has tilted to one side. People are trying to escape. Only a piano is holding the tilted section in balance. The spinning coin falls onto the piano. It loses its balance, and that part of the restaurant also collapses. Everyone there dies. Iris is shown holding the singer's son, trying to save him, but the ground beneath him cracks. To save herself, she places a ring between two iron rods, but her hand gets wounded and the ring slips off. Iris and the child fall and die. Suddenly, a girl screams, and we realize that everything we saw was a hallucination. The girl's name is Stephanie. She was sitting in her class and her scream disturbs the lecture. When her professor asks her about it, Stephanie says she often gets these hallucinations and terrifying visions. Even at night, she wakes up screaming from the same nightmare. Her roommate advises her to talk to her family about it. She returns home, meets her dad, and her brother, whom she is very close to. They both visit their uncle, her mother's brother. They're all very close with their cousins. While everyone is having a good time, Stephanie asks her uncle about her grandmother, Iris, the same Iris from her visions. Her uncle gets angry at the mention of her mother and says, "Your grandmother is dead to us. She went crazy, left us, and started living on an island. She never came back. Because of her, your mother's mental health worsened, and she left us too." Her uncle walks away, but her aunt secretly helps her. She gives Stephanie some letters sent by Iris, her address, and a few of her belongings. Among them was the photo of Paul and Iris in front of the Skyview restaurant. Seeing it shocks Stephanie. Everything in her visions matched this photo. To meet Iris, Stephanie travels to the deserted island. There was a house, but it was in poor condition. She speaks into the security camera, introducing herself, and Iris lets her in. Iris is very happy to see her. She asks about Stephanie's mother, and Stephanie tells her, "Our mother left us in childhood." Stephanie then tells her the real reason for her visit, that she keeps seeing visions of Iris and Paul at the Skyview restaurant. And in those visions, the restaurant is being destroyed, and everyone is dying. She sees it every night. Iris tells her that she too used to have the same visions. And because of those visions, she was able to save everyone during that major accident. That day, she had taken the coin from the child, which would have caused the disaster. She knew the floor would collapse. So she used the microphone to warn everyone, and many people evacuated early. Because of that, many lives were saved. Stephanie asks in surprise, "You saved everyone that day?" Iris replies, "Yes, I cheated death that day and saved everyone." But death didn't stop there. Death continued to chase everyone who survived. It began killing them one by one. Even their children weren't spared. If someone had children, after surviving, death came for them too, because those children wouldn't have existed had their parents died that day. Death kept playing this game. Paul eventually died of cancer, and Iris realized she was next. To escape death, she went into hiding. She says, "If I die, your mother, her brother, their children, even you and your brother will all be in danger. As long as I'm alive, you're all safe." Stephanie asks, "Then why do I keep having these visions?" Iris replies, "Because death is now after us again." Stephanie becomes terrified. Iris gives her a book, which includes details of all the survivors and how they eventually died, as well as methods to cheat death. Stephanie finds it all unbelievable and leaves, saying she'll come visit again. Iris, who hadn't stepped out in years, finally leaves her cabin. She gives the book to Stephanie and says, "Death is after you now. Use this book to survive." When Stephanie still doesn't believe her, Iris says, "Then watch my death." We see gas leaking from one place, triggering a chain reaction. Something suddenly stabs Iris from behind, and Iris dies right there. Now, Stephanie finally believes Iris's words. 2 days later, Iris's funeral was held, which Stephanie's mother also attended. Now Stephanie understood that the next person to die could be her mother. To save her, Stephanie began reading the book given by Iris. Inside the book, Iris had hidden the same coin that had caused the accident that day. After understanding everything, Stephanie tried to call her family to warn them, but no one was answering her calls. Meanwhile, it was shown that Stephanie's entire family was at a party. And at the party, the game of death had already begun. Glass broke, and a shard of it fell into the ice bucket. Everyone was taking ice from there. One shard ended up in Stephanie's uncle's drink, but he put the glass aside and walked away. Meanwhile, all the other items at the party subtly shifted their positions, as if everything was happening according to some hidden plan. The glass fell from Stephanie's uncle's hand, and a shard stabbed into his foot. Due to the pain, he fell down. His fall caused vibrations on the ground, which made a tool fall onto a grass-cutting machine. That machine suddenly turned on, moved forward rapidly, and crushed Stephanie's uncle's face, killing him instantly. Everyone was horrified by this brutal death. Stephanie was also terrified. Now she explained to her whole family how death was coming after them. She told them that even though Iris had saved people from the tower collapse that day, death still came for them afterward. Death didn't just kill them, it also came after their families. And now only Stephanie's family and one other boy's family were still alive. Stephanie said, "First Iris died, then her eldest son. Now, after my uncle's death, it's his daughter's turn. And once my mom dies, it will be my turn." Everyone listened, but no one believed her. Even her cousins, the children of her uncle, got angry, thinking she was making fun of their father's death. Only one person believed Stephanie, her mother. But Stephanie wasn't speaking to her properly. Now we're shown her uncle's eldest son at his piercing shop. He finishes his work and closes the shop. As a memory of his father, he gets a portrait tattooed on his arm. At that moment, he's wearing a pin in his nose. Suddenly, a fan above turns on. Attached to it is a magnetic chain which gets pulled toward his nose-piercing dot as the fan spins. So does the chain, and the boy starts spinning along with it. Dot below him, there's a lot of spilled kerosene. His lighter sparks, igniting a fire. He manages to free himself from the chain, but then falls into the flames. The entire shop catches fire. As soon as Stephanie learns about the fire, she rushes to the shop at sunrise. But suddenly, the boy appears in front of her car and stops them. Surprisingly, he has no major injuries except for his arm. While talking casually, a high-speed truck rushes past them and shakes him, but it doesn't harm him. He tells Stephanie, "See? I told you nothing will happen to me." At that moment, Stephanie feels her fears might have been wrong. Instead of listening to his words, she keeps watching the road, looking for anything that could harm him. A garbage truck passes by. Stephanie tells him to stay away from it. But he goes and hugs the truck, and again, nothing happens to him. Now the boy says, "See? I told you. You're just overthinking it." Then his sister also goes out for a walk. Suddenly, her foot hits a ball, which causes her to stumble into a trash bin. The garbage truck drivers unknowingly pick up the bin and throw it into their truck. All three of them witness this. They run after the truck to stop it. Without caring for her life, Stephanie climbs on top of the truck to rescue the girl, but the garbage inside was already being crushed. In that machine, the girl's body is shattered into pieces. Only her hand remains in Stephanie's grip, and she dies. Everyone is deeply disturbed by her death. Stephanie's brother tells her, "You were right." But at that moment, Stephanie doesn't believe her own assumption anymore because she thought her cousin's brother should have died, not the sister. Then their aunt comes and reveals a shocking truth. That boy was not the real son of Stephanie's uncle. That's why he didn't die. But the girl who died, she was the real elder, daughter of Stephanie's uncle. Stephanie is stunned to hear this. Now, everyone starts believing her. The younger brother of the girl who died says to Stephanie, "That means it's my turn now. Stephanie, I don't want to die. Will you help me?" Stephanie says, "I want to save you, but I don't know what's going to happen next." Then her brother tells her, "Look, you already figured things out before. You'll understand again. Just observe your surroundings." Stephanie remembers that Iris once told her about a boy who had survived that day. He was still working in a hospital. He was alive, he had tricked death. So they decide to find him. When they arrive and call his name JD, he gets surprised. Only Iris used to call him that. They ask, "How do you know Iris?" He replies, "When the tower incident happened, I was there. I was the singer's son." Stephanie remembers the vision clearly and realizes he was in it. He also shares that Iris came to him years ago to find a way to cheat death for her husband, Paul. But despite many efforts, they couldn't save Paul's life. Stephanie asks him, there any people who actually escape death?" The man replies, "Yes, there are two, but not like you think. Death first one. It took them, but later they were revived by doctors or someone else. After that, death didn't chase them anymore." Stephanie pleads, "Please, help us." But the man says, "No, I already cheated death once, but I'm still going to die. I have cancer. Everyone dies. We can't escape death. It's our final destination. Until then, we should enjoy what time we have left." Everyone is heartbroken. Then, one of them gets an idea. They decide to give peanuts to the younger brother. because he has a severe peanut allergy. The plan is when he's close to dying, they'll treat him with anti-allergy medication to revive him. This way, they'll cheat death. He goes to the vending machine for peanuts, but it doesn't work. In a rush, he tries to pull them out manually. While doing so, a screw loosens. They hide in a room. He tells his brother, "Wait here. I'll bring the anti-allergy shot." He slams the door shut, accidentally pressing some buttons. The MRI machine turns on. After a while, he returns with the injector and a wheelchair. He gives his brother the chocolate with peanuts, but before they can go through with their plan, the MRI machine activates. Its strong magnetic pull starts attracting metal objects. Stephanie's elder cousin, who had piercings all over his body, is pulled toward the machine. The wheelchair also gets pulled with force. He is dragged in violently, unable to save himself. After a loud crash, he dies instantly. His younger brother, now struggling to breathe from the peanut allergy, injects himself with the medication and survives. But just then, the spring from the vending machine, which had been dislodged earlier, shoots out. It bounces from wall to wall and finally strikes the boy who tried to cheat death. He dies instantly. Death didn't let him escape. Everyone is devastated by their deaths. Stephanie tells her mom, "Now it's your turn. I think you should go." Live in the house where Grandma Iris stayed, she stayed safe there for years. Her mom agrees. As Stephanie holds the book Iris gave her, the same coin slips out. An old lady nearby picks it up and puts it into her purse. Stephanie quickly takes her mom to Iris's old house and asks her to go inside. Her mom, though worried for her children, is reassured when Stephanie says, "Mom, as long as you're alive, nothing can happen to us." She and her brother send their mother inside. But we are shown that the house already had a gas leak and the place was sparking with electricity. Though her mom notices the smell, she ignores it and enters the house. Moments later, a powerful explosion occurs. The blast throws Stephanie's car into the water. She begins to drown. Inside the house, her mom burns in the explosion. Stephanie's brother, standing outside, falls to the ground and sees a tower collapsing above him. Before it hits him, his mom runs over and pushes him away, sacrificing herself. The tower crashes down on her, and she dies. Now, the boy realizes that it's Stephanie's turn to die next. To save her, he jumps into the water. He pulls her out, but she's already dead. He gives her CPR, and miraculously, she starts breathing again. She comes back to life. They're both overjoyed. Stephanie had accepted death and returned. Now they believe they had fooled death. Though heartbroken over their mother and others, they were relieved to be alive. A short time later, their lives returned to normal. Today was Charlie's graduation ceremony. Stephanie's younger brother, everyone, was getting ready. Stephanie, excited, puts a rose in his pocket, but its thorn pricks her finger and blood comes out, just like what happened to Iris at the beginning. Seeing this, Stephanie realizes the game of death has started again. The scene shifts. We see the same coin that Iris had once saved. The old lady who now has it opens her wallet, and the coin slips out. It spins and lands on a train track, the same track we saw at the start of the movie. It rests on a junction that could derail the train. The scene cuts to Stephanie and her brother again. Their neighbor, a doctor and Charlie's friend, visits. He says to Stephanie, "Your brother told me everything about you. I'm very impressed. You're lucky to be alive." Stephanie replies, "Yes, I feel lucky. I came back to life after death." The doctor says, "No, you didn't die. If someone stops breathing for 5 minutes, only then are they considered dead. But you started breathing again within 2 minutes. That's unconsciousness, not death." Hearing this, Stephanie and her brother are shocked. Stephanie looks around. She starts seeing death in everything. And then, the derailed train, affected by the coin, rushes off its tracks. Heading toward their homes. It can't slow down. Stephanie and her brother run to save themselves. Though the train finally stops, they don't survive. Shards of wood fly off from behind the train and pierce through both of them. They die on the spot. And with this, the Final Destination movie ends with the message, we can never escape death. One day, it comes for everyone. Thanks for watching.